All right. I feel better already.
I do too.
Welcome to episode 138 of the Blake Mayfield podcast. I am your host, Blake Mayfield, and I'm here today with Chad Novak, the owner of Hops and Vines, located right here in Cottonwood, California, on National Beer Day. Chad, how are you, man?
Doing good, Blake. Thanks for asking, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I want to thank you for doing this. This has been a long time coming for me personally. George first brought me here, I want to say maybe like 2 years ago or something like that. And I've been trying to get you on ever since.
Right.
So the day has come, and I didn't realize it was National Beer Day till 2 seconds ago when you said it right before we started recording. So thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate your business as well.
Of course. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to all the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud listeners, and now YouTube viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's the first time we've had a camera on this podcast in about 3 years. So it's a little different for me. I'm going to try to remember to look over and do the camera. Shout out to George doing the camera work. He is the director for the podcast. So George, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the listeners. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And I want to let you guys know that pretty soon, Chad, I have a hat out in my car for you that I'll get after this.
Right on, man. I'll take a hat.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to let you guys know that we'll have more podcast hats coming in. I want to get back to giving out free stuff for the guests and free stuff for the fans. It is totally free. You heard that right. Just hit me up on Instagram at Blake Mayfield 23, and I'll get one out to you ASAP. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out, thank you to our sponsor, Black Rose Coffee and Tea. And now, a word from them. Okay. So for the YouTube listeners, we have the Black Rose ad going on, about 45 seconds of this. They can't hear us on streaming, so yeah. But excited to be here today, and podcast hats will be coming in pretty soon. And George, thanks for doing this, man. We got George's camera. Hopefully it turns out pretty well, and I'm excited for this. So just filling the gaps here a little bit. Got some Humble Cider. Shout out to Humble Cider Company for the blueberry, if you will. And
could you show it for the camera?
What's up?
Show it for the camera.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Right there.
Perfect.
Gotcha. All right, here we go. And without further ado, let's get into the program. So, again, thank you for being on. I appreciate you, Chad. I love this place. It's a nice vibe in here. I'm not just saying that because you're here. It's a different feel than a lot of other places. I feel like when I come in here, it's not sleazy. It's not people just trying to get laid. It's not a bad environment. I feel like there's not weird drug deals or shit going down. Right. So I feel like it'd be kind of dumb to ask if that's on purpose, because I feel like it is, yes, on purpose.
Yes,
but what did you see? Because I was reading up on you a little bit on your website. This is like a lifelong dream for you, or it's been a very long passion of yours since you were younger.
Yeah.
What did you want to do different about this place that you think you accomplished pretty well?
Well, we were really shooting for, you hit the nail on the head, environment. You know, we really wanted a clean, comfortable, friendly, place where people could, socialize, not have to worry about exactly what you said. Somebody sitting at the bar and just taking up space, drunk, sloppy. We wanted a clean, comfortable spot, fair pricing, and really wanted to focus too on customer service. And I feel keeping a clean place and, keeping things organized helps with that. My wife and I, we were tired of going to some other places because we were looking for a place where her and I could just socialize. We could talk about the day, have a drink, and not worry about that. So
yeah,
this is what we came up with, and we were really happy with the way it turned out. People, they gravitated toward it, so it was really nice. It was really nice to see there was people out there that wanted the same thing. So
yeah. When was this founded? When did you open this place?
It was May 29th of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're coming up on 3 years, and we're adding things as the days go on. We're trying new stuff. So yeah, it's we're really happy with the way things are going. So
why'd you want to open a pub?
Well, I've been a big fan of beer for a long time. I used to grow my own hops, do a little brew, at my house, nothing crazy. I've drank a lot of beer over the years.
Okay.
And, I just, beer is up and coming. There's a lot now with ciders and sours, and there's so many different styles that, people, you can almost get anything you can imagine just out of a beer house anymore, So, why did I want to do it? I didn't want to work for somebody else anymore either. So,
Okay.
you know, we wanted to do our own thing, control our own fate, you know, so the most natural thing to do would be open a little tap house in my hometown, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't realize it was that new, to be honest with you. So May 2019, this place feels a lot different than a lot of other places here in Shasta County.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite places because I live out here in Cottonwood as well. It's a nice drive, it's a safe drive, and I feel like it's not much effort to come down here. It's not, like I said, you know, to leave this thing off, it's not a sleazy place, if you will.
Right.
Why did you want to open it in Cottonwood compared to Anderson and Reading? Is it because it's your hometown, or is it because Reading's already got enough? Why not Anderson?
Well, yeah, you know, that's exactly it. Is I actually worked for Les Schwab Tire Center for 20 years, and I have a lot of customers that live out here and Anderson and so forth. And I just felt that there wasn't a place in this area for the clientele that I have. You know, I felt that there was an untapped source that, you know, my wife and I used to travel into Reading just to go and get a drink, and then, you know, you can only have that one because you got to be safe, you got to get back,
Right.
you know, and that was really kind of a bummer because sometimes you want to have a few, you know what I mean? Shit, yeah, you want to have a few beers, you know, but you got to be safe, you got to be careful, and we also, you know, we wanted to provide something for our community. And a little off topic there, we do a ton. We're big on our community. So, I mean, my kids go to school down here. We live right down the street. So we wanted to provide something, you know, and we donate a ton as well. So that was primarily it. We wanted a cool spot for people like my wife and I to come and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about sleazy, dirty, you know, music blaring, just a comfortable and clean environment. That's what we were shooting for. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think without having to try to keep it that way, it stayed that way here. Because I've noticed that as well. I mean, I've only been coming in, I want to say maybe a year, maybe a little over a year since George first brought me here. But every time I come in, not at once have I felt like I have to be forced out, someone's going to get thrown out, there's going to be a fight, people are getting rowdy. Even when you're not around, even when it's, you know, Drake, shout to him, great bartender.
Great
even
guy,
when
absolutely.
it's, I believe Dylan. Is it Dylan?
Dylan actually just had some new ventures come up, so he's not
Gotcha.
going to be with us anymore, but we've got Hayden I just hired this week, so.
Gotcha.
Great guy, experienced bartender, we're excited to see what we can do with that, so.
Okay, awesome. So I mean, every time you come in, it's the same. It's almost like even when you're not around, the guys know what to do. So I respect that as a customer.
It's
You know,
nice of you to say, I appreciate you saying
yeah,
that.
you come in and I mean, dude, you got 24 different types of beers here. Where'd you get the Sour Monkey? Because George brought me in. And he was like, you gotta try the Sour Monkey. And I didn't know there were sour beers and ciders. I didn't know any of this stuff. I just thought beer was beer. And I'm used to Coors and Bud Light.
I feel a lot of people have actually learned a lot about beer just by coming in here as well. So that's pretty cool.
Where'd you find that stuff?
So Sour Monkey, a little bit of a story here. One of my customers, early when we opened, he came in here and told me about this Sour Monkey beer. I was like, you know, I wasn't into the sours at the time. And so he brought me a 6-pack. And we shared a 6-pack because obviously early on we were pretty slow. And I sat there and I thought, man, this is really good. The unfortunate part about Sour Monkey, you guys, you just got to be careful, is it's pretty strong. It's at 9.5%. So, you know, you really got to be careful. It'll creep up on you pretty quick. So we're pretty safe around here. We have waters. So, you know, we'll keep you guys hydrated. But so shortly after that, I went ahead and got a keg of it and put it on tap. Well, needless to say, it hasn't come off tap since. So we're really happy with Sour Monkey. That's a great beer. So it's again, be safe if you come in. That's a strong one. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this. Dealing with COVID, we're basically post-pandemic at this point. It's been a long 2 years for business owners, regular citizens alike. I don't know if anyone's really won in this whole thing except like fucking Jeff Bezos or someone like that.
Yeah.
But how did you guys deal with it? Did you ever, I mean, of course there was probably a moment or two of like, this is gonna go down probably. Did you ever feel like you weren't gonna make it? How do you think you persevered and basically build resilience through COVID?
Sure, yeah, without a doubt. You know, that was a really bad time. that was really rough, especially with as new as we were. Well, how did we deal with it? So it was kind of tough for us because, you know, we've got we've got customers that are on both sides of the coin. You know, we have, you know, without going too much into that, you know, we wanted to please everybody, and that's what we try to do. You know, we try to make sure everybody's happy, everybody, you know, wants to come back, you know, and we had the unfortunate, we shut down for 4 months actually. So that was really hard for a small business. You know, we're still paying rent, we're still paying utilities, we're doing all these things, all this refrigeration still got to be running. You know, so it was a bummer. It was really a bummer, and you know, it was. I also had to take a small relief loan from the SBA, which really sucked because I bought everything here. You know, so I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, unfortunately, I owe some people some money, but you know, we'll get through that, and it'll be fine. But it was tough. Luckily, you know, the state was allowed us to do some to-go beers. The community was a tremendous support for us. We got a bunch of growlers. We would do a couple days a week where we would do growler films. So people would come in. I'd have a line out the door, man. It was pretty amazing to see a community come together to keep a little tap house here. You know, I mean, it was pretty rad. So we would do that a couple days, and after that 4 months, I had enough. You know, I'm like, I got a business to run. I got to pay some bills.
Yeah.
I'd already taken out that loan, so we just decided it's time to just open up. And we keep it so clean in here. You know, we sanitize. Our glasses are all sanitized in the dishwasher. You know, we keep the tables clean, floors clean. You know, so we were really trying to focus on cleanliness like we always do. So we weren't concerned about, you know, COVID being a problem. I got to be honest. I did. My family did get sick at one point, so we did shut down for 2 weeks just so I wasn't getting anybody else around the business sick. So
yeah,
I think it's just, you know, it's obviously a smart thing to do, but we never got too wrapped up in all the screens and, you know, things like that. We have this is a social atmosphere. You start doing that, you take the social out of it. I mean, it's. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. You have the option. You want to come in.
Right.
You want to take your chance. That's up to you. So, again, this Cottonwood community is amazing. The people here are amazing, and they really, really kept us afloat. So, thank you for that to anybody who might be listening. So.
Yeah, absolutely. How'd you land a spot in the Holiday Shopping Center? Because this is a pretty prime area. That's probably the most prime area, some would say, of Cottonwood. And Cottonwood's really spread out. I mean, West Valley is maybe 6-7 miles down the road from us. Veteran Cemetery is 20 miles. You go the other way, you go to Palisadro. I mean, this is the central spot. How were you able to secure a place in here 3 years ago?
Wow, you know, it was a funny story. They actually had a sign up on the outdoor sign there, and it, you know, said for lease. And I happened to see it. We were kind of looking around Cottonwood at that time already, and contacted the owner, and he informed me that it was not available and that a Mexican restaurant was going to be coming to this location. So, you know, it was pretty disappointing, and I just informed, you know, I let him know, hey, we're ready to pull the trigger. If something goes south, you know, let us know.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
So a few months later, come to find out that whatever that Mexican restaurant was, things weren't working out, licensing things, man. So he got a hold of me, and we threw it down right then. And there was another little issue with this business opening it up. We actually started leasing this building a long time prior to opening. We had a lot of issues with permitting. We had a lot of issues with the county. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this county that has those issues. But, you know, we were paying rent for 4 months before we even opened up. So it was something else. But, yeah, fortunately, we were able to get in, did a bunch of, you know, cleanup and, you know, flooring and renovations, and we're really happy with the way it turned out. We are planning on some future stuff around here. We're talking about maybe a back patio in the future. We'll be working on that. Yeah, we're pretty excited, and you know, things are only going to get better around here. So we're. Yeah.
What would you? Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I was just.
What would you say separates Hops from another type of bar or pub, or even somewhere else here in town? And not in a bad way, but what do you think if there's one thing that makes you stand out, if you will? if there is any, in your opinion?
Oh man, honestly, I'm gonna sound so conceited here, man. This is terrible. I'm gonna say it's because I think I'm a pretty good dude, and I think people might enjoy coming in here and having a pint and BSing with me a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound conceited, but I feel that way, and I enjoy talking to them. So I think that comes out in this business. People see that I'm actually excited to talk to them, and I want them to be here. And I want to party and have a good time with them. So that would probably be the biggest difference, and I appreciate them. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate the time you spend and the money you spend, and the conversations we have. So
Right.
That's important to us.
Circling back to the COVID thing, not to talk about that, but I like how you guys kept the fridge for, I think people at this point are kind of relaxed. They're kind of like, they're over it. Either you've gotten it or you haven't, and you deal with it and you do whatever you do.
Sure, absolutely.
But people still have the option of coming in. I mean, these ciders, man, for the viewers, these ciders are amazing.
Humboldt cider is amazing.
You can come in and just buy a 6-pack, buy a few of them, and go home still. And it's like, that's $6-7 a pop. I mean, it's not that crazy.
No, it's
you get plenty buzzed.
Yeah, absolutely. And the neat thing about here, which again you were talking about separating from the others, is this cooler that we have over there. We have just upwards of 90 beers in there. Beers, ciders, seltzers, stouts, porters. A lot.
Kombucha. I see
Kombucha.
Kylo on kombuchas over
Thank
there.
you. Yeah, we got some kombucha down there. And what's neat about it is you can mix and match. So I don't know about anybody out there, but man, when you buy a 4-pack of beer or a 4-pack of cider and you drink the first one, you go, man, this beer is not what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Now you got 3 more of them that you got to pawn off on your buddies, So, or they take up space in your fridge. So, kind of a neat deal. We can mix and match and try some different stuff. Maybe you're feeling like a hazy, maybe you're feeling like a West Coast, maybe you want a cider to have after a steak. Who knows? I don't really know what everybody's into, but it's just a nice option. So we're thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Yeah, no,
great,
the
yeah.
fridge is awesome.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite drink here, beer-wise? And then what's your favorite wine, if you will, because it's hops and vines?
Yeah. My favorite is more of a style. I used to be the big IPA. The bigger the better, the blast in the mouth, which I still like here and again. But I'm really big on pilsners, kolsch's, blondes. I enjoy the lighter stuff. I can have a few more of them. Really gravitate toward the sours lately. Sours are pretty exciting. We can do a lot of fun stuff with those. There's just a lot of different flavors, a lot of different profile. It excites your taste buds. It's pretty cool. But overall, I'm really just enjoying beer wine. So, as far as wine goes, I'm more of a blend type of guy, more of a dessert style. I don't venture into it a whole lot. More than anything, it's because I tend to drink wine like I drink beer, so I just get really fucked up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just is more, if I'm with my wife and we're just hanging out, we're having dinner or something, we can have a bottle and it's good. But if we're out and about, I gotta keep to some lighter stuff. So
Yeah.
So that's more my style.
What beer would you recommend to a first-time customer?
Well, a lot of the first timers, we still keep Coors Light on tap. There's a lot of craft beer people that would probably say that that's not cool. Well, as far as I'm
Coors is
concerned,
Coors, man.
yeah,
It's one of those things. It's essential. You need it.
Everybody see it. I don't care what you drink.
Right.
Whatever
Right.
your flavor, whatever your style, whatever your passion, I'm down. It's all good. So we still have that on tap for your beginners. If you're coming in and weren't really a big craft beer person, we've got a lot of different stuff. We could upgrade you into, Farmers. Farmers is a nice step up, nice craft beer place out of Princeton. And they've got a light, which is very comparable to a Coors Light, nice, easy drinking. They've got an unfiltered wheat, the 530, 805, step up from a lighter beer. I guess it depends on, if you're a first timer here, what your normal beer would be. If you drink pale ale, I would push you into maybe trying a blackberry blonde from that there. I rotate handles, so we always are changing our beers around. So there's a handful that we have that stay, and the rest of them we change. So that's kind of the other nice part about here is really anything that you desire, you can probably get here without it being hard alcohol. So I suppose I should have started the answer of what is it that you drink as you're coming in. If you're an IPA guy, hey man, I got IPAs from 6% to 9%. If you like hazies, same thing.
Sours
off
the chin.
They really.
I'm halfway done with this, and I'm already.
That's actually a cider. That's a cider.
That's cider. Yes. There we go.
Ciders are delicious. They're so easy to drink. They're,
Yep.
They're any flavor from the spectrum you can imagine. But I'm a sour guy. Sours are fun. You guys just if you come in, it's worth a try. And we do little tasters too. So if you come down, have a little taster, try it out. It's fun. So yeah.
Are there any misconceptions about owning a pub, or even just hops and vines in general, that you feel like, maybe not the community in Cottonwood, but people in general have mistaken you for? Because you bring up the fact that how it was hard to get the liquor license. I've heard that from a lot of pizzerias. I've worked at a couple in my life. I hear that it's super hard to, if there's a school around, if there's this and that, and there is a school around.
There is a school around, yeah.
We live in Cottonwood, where it's like, but you guys have liquor that's close to a school, and there's kids, and you might do this, and they assume a lot of shit.
Sure, yeah.
Is that a misconception? Would you say that you've battled and gotten that off the reputation of this place? I mean, what's the biggest thing about this place you want to get out there to people directly?
Yeah.
That they might think wrong about it?
I think, that's definitely it's a stereotype. Shoot, you've got a bar that's a dive, and you've got bars. I could kind of consider this more of like a coffee house. It's more of a social place where you can come and hang out with a buddy, and you can actually have conversation.
And hear him talk.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the buddy. You don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I think when I first opened, there was a lot of people that maybe had the idea that, oh, great, this guy's bringing in this bar right in the biggest shopping center in Cottonwood, and it's just going to bring a bunch of trash and a bunch of problems, And that was by no means anything we were trying to do. We were just trying to create a nice atmosphere for good people that like to have a couple drinks, We did, the school was a thing. I did have to rezone this area for what we're doing,
So what's rezoning? To people that don't know that.
So it was zoned for, it's still commercial, but it wasn't zoned for beer, wine, alcohol, anything like that. It was a different commercial zone. So you have to go through a lot of steps, and you brought up the school. It has to be so far away from a school. You have to send out letters to anybody in the general vicinity of, even the residents over here off of Park and Rhonda and Gas Point and things like that. I had to give them a heads up, There were people that still have businesses in this shopping center that were really, against it. Not so much that it wasn't going to happen, but you could tell, and they voiced it to others, not me in particular, but right, that made things a little easier, right? But the rezoning wasn't a huge deal. It was, I think once people set foot in Hops and Vines, they realize what it is, and they realize they feel comfortable. And they realize that, hey man, this guy's not so bad, So,
right.
And now that we're coming up on 3 years, we donate to the schools, we donate to the baseball field out here. We try to. We're really into that. We just did an event because we do catering as well. We did an event for West Valley Baseball, which was awesome. Thank them for inviting us. We'll be doing the car show down here, the Hot Rods and Hogs. It's coming up. I think with that being said, I don't blame anybody at all for having that idea about it, because that's stereotype. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, if you get the wrong person that's opening it, or the wrong person that's trying to create it, there's definitely that chance of it becoming a shithole.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's not.
Excuse my language.
No, you're allowed to curse out here. You're all good. You're all good. The black grass is cool. I'm cool with it.
All right,
you're all good. Not for nothing. I see old teachers from high school that used to teach me coming here. I saw my fucking loan officer yesterday when I was in here with George. Like, there's a lot of different people that come in here from all walks of life. I think you've done a great job, and I'm just saying this because, you know, you're sitting here with me. I think you and your wife have done a great job of making this just an inviting place. Because I'll even tell George, and I mean, it may sound like I'm a wuss, but there's certain places I just don't like going. I don't feel comfortable going. I'm like, I don't want to go there. The drinks suck.
Yeah.
I don't like the people they allow. You know, and Hops is always the most trustworthy, dependable place. We both live here in Cottonwood. I'm just like, let's go to Hops. I like Hops. You know what I mean? I'm not here to trash anyone else, but other places around here, I'm just like, nah. Like, let's go to Hops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
just thank you. It's a good environment.
Thank you, man. Thanks for saying such nice things. Like that's super cool. Yeah, we that's what we strive for. You know, I wish I could spend more time in here, but you know, we've been so busy with life that I'm not in here as much as I would like. But yeah, it's great of you to say, man, because that's exactly what we were going for. That is exactly what we were shooting for.
Yeah.
And it's cool to, you know, hear other people say that, hey, man, yeah, we want to go there, because you do. You see all walks of life. You know, and most of the time when you come in here, like you just said, you're going to see somebody you know from the community. You're going to be able to wave at them, maybe walk over, say hi, maybe buy them a beer.
Right.
Yeah, you know, hey, man, I think that's cool because
the lights are actually on in here, like.
Yes, right, yeah. You know, and you certainly don't want to talk bad about anybody, because everybody's got their place. And
right.
They're great. I drink at all the local spots here. You know, I love to support the bartenders and the bar owners, and it's great. But you know, if you're looking to just have a couple drinks and just have a good time and kick back, and hey, maybe just sit here and we have people come in here and do their homework. You know, people in college will come here and kick back on their
that makes sense, though.
Their computers and
have a drink,
hook them up with the Wi-Fi, and they're good to go, man. So that's you know, seeing things like that makes you feel really good. Like, hey, man, people are comfortable. This is cool.
Right.
It's you know, that's gratifying. You know?
For sure.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of TLC was given to that
Sure.
to that point. So yeah, it's definitely realized by someone like me who's just a customer of yours.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't sound like a guy that's too competitive. Big community guy, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Want to support everybody. But is there any part of you that is competitive, that wants to be better, that may even think, you don't have to say it, but may even think, yeah, I think this place is a little better than the places I frequent? Or you just, I do my own thing, I focus on me. I don't compete.
Absolutely not. No, we do our own thing. I'm not out to compete with anybody. You know, I'm just I'm a beer fanatic. I like beer. Anybody that likes beer, I think it's cool. I would be excited to have other places open up. That way, there's more excitement in this you know, county about beer. But competing, no, absolutely not. No, we're just here to provide something for the individuals that choose and like to come here. So no, we're not competitive. We're chill, have a good time. You want to come down? Let's do it. If you don't, we'll do it next time.
Is there any reason in particular you guys don't do tequila, whiskey? Is that part of the liquor license? Is that part of the rules, if you will? Or was that something you wanted to specialize in? Let's not do the cocktails and all the shit like everyone else does. Let's do hops, let's do vines the best we can.
Man.
Is there any strategy to that?
You know, it's funny, real quick, I was wondering how you were gonna get me to talk for this long. You know, but that right there, that'll get me talking.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, no.
Because I do wonder that. I like tequila, personally.
Sure. Man, yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, until after 4 or 5, right?
And then you go home.
That's right.
It's like, oh, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, we would absolutely love to do hard alcohol here, but it's a matter of there's a limited amount of liquor licenses available. So
Okay, I didn't know that.
you just can't go get a liquor license. There's so many available I believe it's per county. So, you know, if you don't have one, you got to buy an existing one. It's really a bummer. And they're quite expensive.
I'm sure.
They're quite expensive, which is not that's not the issue. The issue is finding one and finding one that people were willing to sell. They're supposed to, if they're not being used, they're supposed to be used within a year's time. They kind of give the ABCs, we give them a little bit of a grace period, people up to 3 years where it doesn't need to be used. But Yeah, you know, we would love to do that. We actually have plans. We've talked about it a bunch. And we would love to do that. And we would still keep it upscale, and it would still, you wouldn't be getting shots of wells, you wouldn't be, you know. So that is a plan in our future that we're ready to tackle. But unfortunately, we do not have access to them right now.
Gotcha.
Which we would. I'd pull the trigger tomorrow, man. I would pull the trigger tomorrow.
I figured there was more than meets the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can still come and have a really good time with some, like I said, these beers. When we have 90 in the case and we have 24 on tap, you can pretty much get whatever flavor profile you're looking for. You can get it. You can get it, but it's not going to be your Jack and Cokes or your, you know, margarita. Well, I got some margaritas over there actually, but they're malt based. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So, but yes, keep your eyes open. When Hops and Vines can get a hold of something, we'll be definitely letting everybody know. So that is definitely in our future plans. I like liquor. A lot of my friends, you know, they come in. Another thing, a lot of people I know come in and support, and they may not necessarily like beer or wine. They prefer other drinks, and they still come in and they still support. And I think that shows the type of place that we've got going on here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a safe space bar, if you will. If there's ever such a thing that feels like that, I know that may sound a little funny coming from a male, but honestly, you come in here, I don't feel like I'm gonna get shot. I don't feel like I'm gonna get in some random ass fight.
Yeah.
Because George and I have been in some spots at 11, 12. That's another thing I want to ask you about in a minute, is the hours. Where it's like, and I'm not gonna name places because I'm not here to do all that.
No.
But it's like, we're not going back there because we walked into like a fight. We walked into like, yeah, George knows what I'm saying.
Zoom.
He's like, no, that's on you. You're safe. But, and that's why I'm always like, dude, let's just do hops, drinks cool, chat's cool, let's go down there. As far as the hours go,
Yes.
2 o'clock to 8 o'clock Sunday and Monday.
Yes.
And then 2 to 10 the rest of the week.
Correct.
A lot of
Yeah.
bars, a lot of clubs, a lot of entertainment places, fun places, if you will. Do 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yes.
Why only 10 p.m.? Was that something that was on purpose?
Well, we actually experimented with all the hours.
Okay.
When I first opened, I was actually working about a year and 6 months by myself, 7 days a week. And we started by opening at 10 a.m. and we were open until midnight. So we kind of went with that for a while, saw what kind of, you know, you got to play the market. You know, what's your market? You know, so we played with that for a little while, and you know, the midnight was definitely not working out. I mean, we were getting some rollover from some places that wasn't the type of people we were looking for in there.
Gotcha.
And no disrespect to anybody. Just,
Of course.
Just, you know, that's the fact.
You're any place the way you want to run it.
Right. So then the 10 a.m., you know, it was like, golly, this is just a terrible waste of time.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're in Cottonwood. And I think it's because a lot of people that live in Cottonwood work in Redding or Red Bluff or maybe down in Sacramento
They
or
do
wherever that may
farming
be.
Yeah.
Right.
Either not wanting to drink. Right.
Farming, things like that. You
Play
know,
to your
so-
craft.
Yeah, you gotta play to your market. So we changed it to noon to midnight. We did that for a while. That was still not working out. So as we played with it over a couple of years, and we just recently changed Sunday and Monday to 8 o'clock because, you know, I'm a big family guy. You know, we're all about family. We're all about that around here. And as a matter of fact, I make my kids come in and clean this. That's how family we are. But yeah, anyways.
It's noticeable. It's noticeable. They do a good job.
That's right. So no, we played with it a bunch. It wasn't just like this is what we're doing, you know. So we got to the point where 2 o'clock seemed good. There are a handful of people that wish that we probably opened a little bit earlier, but overall, I think 2 to 10 is good. I think it's fair to where you can still get home, you can still get to work the next day. You're not going to stick around till 2 in the morning. You know, you can still have fun and you can still have a few drinks and, you know, have a good time with your friends and not be hated the next day. So,
Sure.
and we are not here to get people fucked up. We're here to provide a few drinks,
Relax. Yeah, relax if you
You
want.
know, wind down from the day.
I know I'm relaxed right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I can't drive, or I'm not, you know.
Right,
For sure.
right. Yeah, so that's what we were shooting for. Is more of a, again, I think I said it before, more of a social atmosphere, more of a, just a place to hang out, wind down, not sit at your house, not think about mowing the grass or, vacuuming or what have you.
If you're gonna do it with a Blueberry system.
That's right,
Might be a little more fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to vacuum and do that stuff, you can clean the table or something for me, whatever.
You mentioned the kids. Don't want to go too far in the personal thing, but do you plan on passing this down to them? Is this like a legacy thing to you? Do you even think about stuff like that? Or is this just, I'm Chad, I want to open my own thing, and I just want to do my own thing until the casket drops? Like, is there any sort of plan or goal, or you just one day at a time?
I think it was more of initially opening this place was more of I've been talking about this for too long. I need to either pull the trigger or quit talking about it, and to show my kids, hey man, look, working with a guy that changes tires for a living. Fortunately, my wife, she was like, hey, yeah, do what you need to do, so pull the trigger, do it, make it happen, and show anybody, like, hey, you do what you want. As far as longevity goes, who knows? Whatever happens. I have no intention of keeping it forever. I have no intention of leaving anytime soon. So we're just going day to day, man. Yeah, just do it.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole code you were talking about was definitely there was
like
some
the
conversations there.
Yeah. In Cottonwood, that seems like the vibe. I don't mean to cut you off, but that does seem like Cottonwood Barbershop, or even, Holiday's a little different, it's a grocery chain, but the Eagle's Nest, or just whatever it is. It definitely seems like people are just pulling bootstraps up day by day. We take things as they come. You can never predict a thing like COVID or any shit like that.
For sure, yeah, no, that was something else. But yeah, no, but we have plans of doing some fun stuff and expanding around here. We like I said, the patio. We got some stuff going on. Maybe introduce a bunch more food. While I'm on here, we do offer some food. We got chicken wings, French fries, tots, tenders, all fried, not air fried. Mozzarella sticks. Yeah, mozzarella sticks. Mac and cheese bites, onion rings.
It's funny you even gotta say that.
Yeah, man, air fry's just not doing it, dude. Air fry's not doing it, man.
That was gonna be my next question is, you talk about expansion in the patio and stuff, and I don't know if you want to announce it on here, if you want to keep it to yourself, because things are in the works. Do you plan on ever doing a restaurant? Do you plan on ever doing, not a full-blown maybe, like a final draft, but just even something a little more than just chicken or fries? Do you ever plan on doing maybe some pizza or having something like that? I know Equals Nest is right down the road.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to impede on Monaco over there, so we would definitely not get into that. That's, I think that's poor
taste.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And they're fantastic over there. They have great pizza. It's great. But no, we do. We have plans to do some more food. We're wanting to do more appetizer style. That's with us having the 2 to 10 hours. It's not big enough to host a big dinner crowd.
Right.
It's still a little tap house. But my original business plan entailed having a food truck out front a few days a week. Well, unfortunately, that was not able to happen due to CCRs or HOAs or whatever the heck they are.
Paperwork, if you will.
Right. So that didn't work out for us, which was kind of a bummer. But with that patio, we plan on actually integrating like a slab for food trucks to come out, or catering, to where we can get some different styles and different stuff down here. More than anything for Cottonwood, there's not a lot of options down here.
Right.
There's not a lot of options. The options we do have are great. Kenny's is fantastic. Tailgate, Roadrunner Grill. That's just off the top. Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
Macia's, the Mexican restaurant down there, is great. But we need a steakhouse, man. We need some more options. We need some stuff. So
I was going to ask, steak, beer, steak, wine, for sure,
man.
steak and wine.
Yeah.
Maybe not the fryer, of course, but hey,
Right.
You ever plan on doing some ribeye in New York? Because I will come have a Hops and Vines New York.
For sure. And that's just, honestly, that's so far outside of my realm at the moment. This already was.
Right.
But that food part of things is just, TBD, yeah, to be determined.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? Well, that's a tough question because I mean, I want it. I mean, that's what this area needs, but it's a whole other world when you start getting into that stuff. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Even if you go over to Holiday and, you know, hey, I need 10 ribeyes today, 10, you know what I mean, to get it from them, and they might last a few days. You may not cook all of them. People may not like them. All of a sudden, you got plates. You gotta have dishwashing. all
Right.
sorts of- Yeah, I totally get it.
That's
it's a
it,
lot easier
too.
to serve beer. It sounds like.
yeah,
than
yeah,
wine.
absolutely. Yeah, so that's definitely something we want to do. But you know, don't just pretend I didn't say anything.
If you don't mind divulging a little bit, for anyone that's listening, trying to just learn some information about a pub business, or they want to open one on their own, and there's someone out there that, you know, is my age or maybe a little older that wants to eventually get into the game, if you will.
Sure, yeah.
How much should you have saved? How much does it cost to open? And what's like the time frame they should expect to do paperwork and wait so they can actually, I guess, get their dream? Because I feel like a pub's one of those things that if you're not really into it, you shouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
How much does it cost to open this thing? Or something like this, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I would put it, you know, renovation costs, licensing, equipment. Equipment was huge. Again, you know, you can finance. Those are things you can do under financing. I did not do that. But you know, I would say, oh boy, it's going to be situational. You know, it depends on if your renting's going to be a lot more expensive. Your rent's going to be a lot more expensive. You know, things of that nature. A guy could walk in with probably, or a gal. You know, just to be safe, I say upwards of 100,000.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
So, somewhere in
I figured
there,
something like
you're
that.
opening inventory. You know,
Man, you saved 100 grand from this swap. That's good for you.
well,
you,
they have
you and the wife. I
they have
assume.
they have a fantastic retirement plan. So
That's awesome.
unfortunately, I tapped into that. Oh, no pun intended. No, there was a pun intended. No, so I tapped into that, and you know, so hopefully it works out here. Otherwise, the retirement thing isn't going to look too good.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. So, no, but I mean, and it was a fun experience. It was a challenging experience. So, anybody out there looking to do it, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to come ask me. Hit me up. You've got my cards down here. You guys can text me, call me. I'm happy to help anybody. Anybody that's interested in craft beer, more than happy to help. We're excited about craft beer around here, so if there's others, hey, let's keep it going, let's keep it rolling. So, yeah.
You bring that up. Who have been some of the biggest supporters or?
I gotta get George to do
Yeah, sure. Well, who has been? You can name them by name or just company. Have there been any huge helps, in your opinion? People that a distributor, a person, a boss that's just like they're always there for you. They always help. Just always.
That one. No, you got it.
Yeah,
You did work.
glory,
Yeah.
there you go. Has there been anyone in particular that you're like, man, I feel like I owe my goddamn half my business to this guy or this distributor? Because there's always something where you know someone, you build that relationship.
I gotta be honest with you, it's weird. I wasn't expecting that question, so I'm kind of shooting off the hip here.
I don't know if you get your stuff from a lot of different people.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Multiple distributors.
Gotcha.
I would say, man, I gotta say, probably the guy that was distributor-wise, that was the most helpful, the most easiest to deal with and talk to and knowledgeable would be Dennis Fry. He goes by Bubba, and he's with Block Distribution.
Okay.
The guy's fantastic. I mean, all the distributors are great, but him in particular, he goes that extra mile for everybody, and I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, we have a really cool relationship. As far as, I mean, you were kind of saying distributor. I don't know if you were looking for anything else.
I'm
other
just
than,
not
like,
well versed in the bar business personally,
Yeah.
so I didn't know how you even got your stuff. I know
Yeah.
George once upon a time worked for
Block.
Online.
He worked
or-
for Block, yeah.
He
I worked
did?
under
Okay,
Bubba,
gotcha.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
how you met George, by the way? How'd you meet George? Or
I
did George
met
just
him-
kind of come in one day and?
I think he came in with some friends, didn't you, George?
What was the first experience?
Yeah, me and Austin Dunham.
Austin Dunham.
From the
Yes,
jail.
that's what it was.
Okay.
Dunham, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so, and I'm kind of like a savant when it comes to names and people, so it's like, I remember a lot of people, and I think people appreciate that,
That's a good
that
thing, for sure.
I can sit there and say, hey, oh yeah, how's your dog doing?
I was in my workout period, like, Blake. I'm like, oh, this is
It took me a
legit.
second, I gotta be honest. No, but yeah, no, Bubba was a big help. He's real easy to work with. Now, there's a lot of people around this community that have been tremendous supporters. And I don't think it's really necessary to name anybody or whatever, but just the entire community as a whole has really helped us, keep going after COVID. Keep me going. I mean, when you're at a year and 7 or 8 months or whatever it was, and I was working 7 days a week, all those hours nonstop, that's hard to do. But when you have good people coming in here, it sure makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to, you're not having the fights. You're not having to feel like you got to look over your shoulder. You're not having to throw people out of here. It's nice. I've even experienced people coming in here that are, you kind of. Maybe you look at them and go, oh, what's that guy doing in here, right?
Right. Yes.
I hate to do that, but it's just reality.
It's a part of life.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and then you end up getting to know the people, and you're like, man, I'm glad I got to know that guy. You know what I mean? So,
Nothing to look by its cover.
right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool thing. So, otherwise, sorry, I kind of lost my.
It's all good. I didn't want to cut you off.
No,
What has been the biggest lesson for you think you've learned that you didn't know before you opened your own business? I don't know if you owned any business. Sounds like you didn't before this one. You've done a pretty damn good job, it looks like, on your first try. But what's the biggest lesson or biggest thing you've learned about yourself and just the community as a whole with Hops and Vines?
I guess that would be two different answers. I'll start with myself. What I learned about myself is how much stress and how much you're capable of it as a whole when you're trying to build something like this from scratch. If you walked into something that was kind of maybe already
jumping off a little bit.
Yeah, already had things going. Maybe it was already a bar or already something like that come in, but. Man, it's something else. It really puts you to the test as far as what are you capable of? How far are you capable of pushing yourself, and how much work are you capable of doing? And I pretty much proved to myself. Nobody else needs to say whatever they need to say, but man, I accomplished it, and I made it happen. And with the support of family and friends, so that was lots of help from friends getting things together in here. As far as community, man, we opened with the goal of giving back. Man, the community has given back to me more than I give back to them. I mean, it's amazing. Come in here and I've met and talked to so many cool people, made some good friends just from opening this place. People that I didn't even know were in this community, and it's super cool. And you wouldn't think you'd hear that coming out of a guy that owns a bar, right?
Sure, yeah.
But I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So as far as community, it was like, wow, man, there are some cool people down here. And one of the really cool things that happened, though, and we're off base a little bit, but my daughter, she got in trouble the other day about something. I told her, I said, sis, there's something you need to know. I know a lot of people in this town, and if I don't know them, I'm pretty sure they know me. So you're not going to get away with that. She's starting high school next year, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a little sister also in the 8th grade, and it's just like, it's crazy just to see, like, do you remember, I remember being there when she was born, and it just, it just flies, man. It's like, I look up, I'm 23, she's 13, it's just like.
Oh, you're young, dude. I didn't realize you were so young.
How old do you think I was?
Fucking old.
That's fucking hilarious.
I would say you're probably 28, 30, something like that.
Okay, that's not bad. As long as you don't think I'm like 32 or something crazy. All right, yeah. I don't have gray hairs.
Well, how old do you think I am?
I think I know how old you are. But
Shit.
I would say, I'd go like 45, 46.
Oh, yeah, you're right there. Yeah, I'm actually younger than that. Thank you for aging me.
That's funny as shit. I'm only 23, just trying to be someone out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
good job.
So
Yeah, for sure.
trying to make connects and and whatnot.
Perfect.
Has hops been everything that you envisioned it to be? And if it is, what did you envision? If anything at all, when you first opened in 2019?
Well, you always expect, you have high expectations coming into it. If you don't, there's no point to do it, you know. But did it reach that? Absolutely. You know, I mean, we walked in with only 16 taps. We were going to start with 8 and moved it up to 16 and right off the get. And shortly thereafter, we had to add 8 more because there's just so many options of beer. So I think that in itself is, you know, the draw was there, you know, and that, which was good to see, you know, having those high expectations. You know, shoot, I forgot the second part of the question, but
Just basically what you think the future holds for you.
Yeah.
Or do you have any particular, we talk about maybe doing steaks, we talk about, you know, actually frying the food, we talk about, you know, keeping it clean, but are there any other things that you envision or that you, late at night, you're by yourself, everyone's already asleep, and it's just Chad in Chad's world.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you see for hops that you're like, man, I gotta get on that?
Yeah,
Or are you cool with this?
this is great. This is perfect for us. You know, I can handle it. I can do it myself. You know, but man, I want to brew some beer. I think it'd be rad. I think it'd be cool. You know,
I think it'd be a hot commodity.
Oh man, yeah,
Just Chad's beer, just whatever you want to call it. Just,
Man, you know.
it's my beer. Oh, lovely. Let's
It's
try
funny
it.
you brought that up because just last night I was scrolling through Facebook and a buddy of mine down south, we went to school together in Perry Redding, and he just got second place at the World Cup of Beer in Alameda. So
Wow.
with his IPA, so it's a homebrew competition. So I was sitting there talking to my wife. I'm like, man, if I could just get him up here, if we have the money to put down on a building and do some sort of a microbrew or something along that line and get him up here, oh, that'd be sweet. But those are pipe dreams, you know. We'll see what
Hey, man,
counts.
you gotta have dreams.
That's right. That's right.
This podcast for me is a dream.
All
Yeah,
right.
fulfillment is a dream. I mean, you gotta have stuff that drives you.
Absolutely.
On that note, what is something that drives you? Is there? I mean, you seem like a pretty laid back guy. It doesn't sound like you're too much into sports. It doesn't sound like you're trying to compete with anyone. But there's got to be something that keeps Chad Novak up at night, or something that wakes you up early in the morning to make you want to come in and do this every day. Is there something that makes you tick? What would be the thing that makes you tick, if you will?
Oh shit.
Because I can tell you mine. I mean, I think everyone's
yeah.
got that thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped, dude.
We can come back to this if you want.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on that one. What makes me, Jesus, you just get so busy with stuff. Lately we've been so go. I guess it would be, just the fun times. The times that I get to, go to the coast with my family. The times that we get to go and have parties with our friends. Trips to Tahoe, going to breweries in Sacramento, stuff like that. I suppose it would be our houseboat. Go out on the lake on the houseboat. Things like that would be. I think that would probably be the answer for me. Is just the vacation time, the fun time, which we certainly do not get enough of. Sorry, Nicole, we need to get more of that. But just the not thinking about this place, or the not thinking about Nicole's work. The time away, the free time, I guess would be what drives you.
Working,
because you got to do well. You got
that,
to work
right.
hard to have that time.
Yeah.
To have the.
And it never lasts long enough.
No,
but at least you'll get it.
Yeah. The weekend. I'm happy about the weekend nowadays. So. I suppose that would be my answer for that.
Yeah.
You almost stumped me.
Hey, that's my job. That's my job.
There you go.
What comes next for you? We've talked about this place opening May 2019. You survived COVID. This place is jumping off. It looks like and sounds like more than ever for you personally. And whenever I come in here, the atmosphere is always on point. What is something that you want to do next? What comes next? Is there anything in particular for you guys in 2022 or beyond?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, except for I talked about the patio area out back. doing a little something back there for that outdoor space. I should say for hops, that's what we're talking about, is things like that. Potential liquor license, if we can find one, that's where we would be. Again, it would be more high-end cocktails. It's not going to be your Wells and your stuff. We're going to keep
Morale high.
Correct. We're going to keep the type of clientele that we have around here.
That's good stuff.
Personal life, it's going to be getting an opportunity to go out and take those vacations, getting an opportunity to spend some more time with family, getting a chance to get out on that lake if we ever get some water in it. Just I guess focus on keeping this place organized, clean, keep the environment rolling the way it is, but also focus on our personal life as well. Both my wife and I have been super busy, so we need to have that time together, and it seems like that's kind of been going away a little bit. So we'll focus on doing that. So.
Any more Hops and Vines gear? I see you're wearing the Hops and Vines shirt. And for people that don't know, you can come down and buy shirts and hoodies and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
Any more gear? Any hats? Any more?
For sure. I actually just put in a new order for some new hoodies. We're doing some different colors. We're doing some new tank tops for the ladies. We're going to do a new color in that as well. New shirts for the guys. We're going to do that. I just ordered today from Logo USA. Richard and Debbie Asher, local, out Bowman. Great people, big support here. They come in and support the business, and so we got that. So big thing around here too that we like to do is we do a lot of events. We've done a band a few times. We're doing a big Cinco de Mayo thing with a band, and we'll put some some Mexican lagers and things like that on. We're not going to get too carried away with George likes Cinco de Mayo, baby.
I wasn't going to point it out, but yeah, there we go, George.
We're going to really cool thing we do, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, we do tap takeovers. We have breweries come in. We've had Fall River do it. We've had Eel River come down. Humboldt Cider. We had a tap takeover, a cider tap takeover, which is really outside the box. But we like to get those breweries in here so you can kind of almost taste all the beers they have available, but not have to travel to their breweries, which is a pretty cool thing. And they'll send a representative down and give away some swag and things like that. So when you said future plans is to keep that stuff going, keep the events going, keep the fun rolling, keep we do some raffles here and again. We just gave away a Yeti not too long ago.
Oh wow!
Just to keep it fun, we don't want Hops and Vines getting overlooked, Just like I just said, a whole bunch of times. But
this is how it's in the drink store, man. I love it.
So.
I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness.
So we like to keep things going as much as we can. With the swag, we got some new hats that will be coming. Not right away. I spent a little too much money on the clothes, but we're gonna get some patches, some new patch style hats that we're gonna have coming through. So we got all kinds of new stuff out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Last question for you.
Yes, sir. All right.
Do you plan on expanding this? Do you want this to be a one-off? Was it ever your dream to make this a chain? I don't even know if there's bar chains out there. I don't really know if there are, but I mean, do you plan on doing maybe a second location in Reading one day, Red Bluff, maybe Chico? I mean, is this just Hops and Vines, Cottonwood? You have to come here to get it. This is where we're doing business.
Our current plan is to go ahead and focus on Cottonwood. That's that's our home. That's our community. That's who we want to take care of. If we were to expand, it would be probably down in the Red Bluff area. I feel Reading's probably a little saturated.
Yeah, He did that earlier when we left George.
Right.
He did that earlier.
Yeah. So no, I would say Red Bluff is definitely in the need of something. There's a couple good spots down there, but overall, we're going to focus here. It's been a long process, but we are trying to currently purchase the building. So the one next door. So
nice.
So that'll give us opportunity to do some fun things. Not necessarily expand, but just play around with some things again with the patio, which is once we're done with the purchase, we'll focus on that patio and get, we'd like to get some, maybe a shuffleboard or something in here, but expansion. Dartboard,
I love
maybe,
darts.
yeah. There's, unfortunately, we don't do the dice cups and stuff in here, just because it gets loud, kind of
Right.
obnoxious with that.
You want to keep it even keeled.
Even keel,
Yeah.
chill. But expansion, that's on the horizon. We're going to focus where we're at and, get this where we want it to be, perfect this, and then potentially talk about something like that. But for now, this is what we're doing, and this is where we're at. And we're going to stay in the community we love. So,
I love it. Well,
Thank you, buddy.
I know as a business owner, time is money, and I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
I want to let you know, because last week you were like, how are you going to get time out of me?
Yeah,
How long is it going to last?
dude, you did a
Chad,
good
we're
job.
at an hour and 1 minute.
Oh,
I just want to hit an hour.
shit.
I just want to hit an hour. That's all I
Wow,
want to
you
do.
did it.
That's all I wanted you to know that we
Up top, buddy.
that we did an hour. So thank you. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
right on.
I think the drinks
Yeah.
definitely relaxed us. George,
Wow.
thank you for bringing the camera and being the producer and director of this thing. I appreciate you. And thank you for doing this with me, Chad. It's
Hey,
been a long
thank
time
you so
coming.
much, man. I
I
appreciate you
believe
guys.
in stars aligning and things happen when they're supposed to. Maybe last summer, whenever I asked first, wasn't the best time. I love this. You were awesome. Just want to say thank you while you're here.
Blake, thank you so much, dude. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking your time and coming down and talking with me, man. That's badass.
Absolutely. I love this place, so thank
All
you.
right, cheers.
If you guys have made it this far, thank you for listening. I'll be back here sometime next week, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.